Hello,
Hello.
beautiful community. We love you guys.
So much.
Yes.
We are making this video.
Mm-hmm.
We've never done this before, but choosing to communicate via video real time instead of writing an email. We just wanted to talk about each of our personal float journeys in the tank and really address something that we think scares people away from continuing to float, and that's like having a really difficult float and then thinking that because they had this difficult float that floating is not for them, and that now all my floats are gonna suck. Me and Haley have floated quite a few times in the hundreds at this point, and we just wanted to share each of our kind of perspectives on a more of a challenging float. I guess I'll just go ahead and start since I'm already talking a lot. For me, what I really wanted to share was letting go of talking yourself out of showing up for going into the tank. Because it can be really easy to have more of a challenging float and then just decide that you want to just take a break for a while. And if you need that, like obviously listen to yourself. But if you're someone who wants to have a practice of floating, almost like the practice of working out or having a morning routine or like doing these things that you know feed your soul and that you do get something out, like don't be scared to continue to show up. I have difficult, challenging floats like pretty regularly, and like I said, I've like had access to the float tanks for now 4 years to the day, which is kind of crazy. And so many times I get out and I'm like, holy shit, my mind just ran for 60 minutes straight. Like I couldn't get it to stop. I could go maybe in and out of like focusing on my breathing or deciding to stretch or bounce off the walls, but like I didn't get any of that, what we like to call drop in. And I just wanted to address that this happens and this is like part of the journey. But what I always get out of floating is having just showed up for 60 minutes of uninterrupted, deeply personal time with just me as an energy versus me as a person, me as a body, just going in there and connecting with the deepest part of myself with just pure and utter presence. And so that's what I get out of the float, whether or not my mind is running like a machine or I'm dropping in and feeling blissed out and connected to like the universe and all things.
Yeah. It's so juicy. It's so true. It reminds me of yoga, for example. Like, when do you leave a yoga class not feeling better than when you came? You feel so good, but sometimes it's so hard to get ourselves to go make that drive, show up to the studio and engage in a whole hour of a practice. It can be so hard when we have a million things to do, but the most important thing is that like we deserve rest and we need rest, and to show up in our best self and be able to serve ourselves and our community in the best way, we need to rest and give ourselves that time of self-care. And we also need to be gentle with ourselves, right? Like some floats are going to be really hard. You don't know what it's going to be like. Each float is so different every time I float, and for 3.5 years I've been floating each week. It's like it's still different every single time. And I think with that is the practice of surrender, like really surrendering what your experience is going to be like in the tank and just showing up like Kelsey said. And so some days that's going to mean you're going to pass out into a deep sleep, and some days that's going to mean you're fighting your psyche the entire time and like your body is resisting relaxing. And all those floats are incredible and beautiful, and you always leave very relaxed after each of those floats. I'm always shocked, even when my mind is just running wild, because we all have the human mind, right? I still walk out of the tank like, oh, like a breath of fresh air, and like I was rested and rejuvenated. So yeah, I feel like making sure we always show up for our practice and also surrendering to what it's going to look like each day, because we're dynamic beings, and some days we're blasted off to the ethers, and some days we're just like being really hard on ourselves and having a critical mind the whole time. And all of that is worthy and all of that is perfect. And yeah, we're just so excited that you're all part of our community, and we hope to share some more of this float wisdom with you guys.
Yeah, and if you ever have any questions or things you'd like us to talk about, we are so here for it, and just want to end this by saying we are so grateful for you guys.
Yes.
And cannot wait to see you in the shop.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.